Alright, what's up YouTube? This is Murphy coming back again with a new episode of this video, and I admit that my last video was pretty much not well prepared or not well edited. So I filmed like a ton of clips, and I was trying to crumble them into like a short video, which didn't really turn out well. So this time I was trying to do another approach. I just sitting here talking with you guys about, shopping in Tokyo, and alongside with my footage probably as a B-roll right here. So it's pretty much a better way to just show you guys, in every angle. So I spent in Tokyo last month, like end of September, for like 4.5 days, and the majority stuff I do there is just shopping and food. So I didn't really go out, do any like sightseeing, like the Tokyo Tower, etc. And so I do have like a lot of like stores. I try to recommending you guys to check it out if you visit in Tokyo, like Shinjuku and Shibuya area. So without further ado, let's get started. I was trying to organize these stores as three different categories. So the first one will be vintage stores, and the second one will be the second-hand, the pre-owned buy and sell stores. It's mostly like for designer shit. And the third type of store, just the big department stores, and also like probably boutiques, etc. So the reason the majority thing I aimed for in this trip is just for vintage and second-hand shopping, because if you're not buying domestic brand like Visvim, like Double Tap's Neighborhood, all the other international brand in Japan didn't really cheaper than the States or anywhere else, and the only advantage you get is just that 8% of tax refund. I think right now it's 10% because they changed the tax rate. Whatever. So the main thing I'm aiming for during my trip is just vintage shopping, and also like second-hand designer stuff, because that's where you can find something like real, probably an archive item or get you excited. So let's just get started. So the first store I will be recommending you guys go to is called Chicago. So if you see my last vlog, I actually have like a ton of footage in Chicago. So they have like a 3 stores just around Harajuku area, and I went to all 3, and so I bought a pair of like vintage Levi's at their, I think it's called a Jingumae store. I really butchered the name. I mean the ones that in the Harajuku street. I recommend in Chicago like all 3 stores because like they have like a great variety of selections. So from vintage denim, vintage like denim jacket, to military wear, to bomber jacket, M65, and all the way to sportswear, to jerseys, windbreakers, all the states college hoodies. And another reason I'm recommending is like they have like a pretty fair price considering what they're selling. But one thing to notice that I don't think Chicago have anything really hyped item. By hyped item, I mean like hip hop shirt, rock band tees, like all the crazy price item you saw on eBay. So I don't think you can find anything there. If you're really looking for something like that, I would recommend you go to a store called BerBerJin. It's also in Harajuku, and also another store called Bot. They have like a pretty great selections in a crazy print, or like they have like a pretty great selections for like rock band tees and etc. But the price is also much higher. So I think in average it's around $100 to $150 a shirt, and that's just how it goes because it's more selected. And to me, I think it's a little bit overpriced. That I wouldn't choose a store like that. I would rather like go to a vintage store, just go through the shelf and to see if you can find a gem from there. And another vintage store I highly recommend it is called Second Street. So Second Street actually is a buy and sell like designer store, but they have in their Harajuku stores they have like a basement which is full of vintage, from the vintage Red Wing boot to Carhartt carpenter pants to Levi's to all the way. I mean, they have like a great selections, even vintage Nike. So I picked up like a pair of I'm not sure, but definitely 80s Nike shoes that I will show you guys in my next pickup videos. So that's 1, 2, that's the 3 stores. So another honorable mention is called Down on Wednesday. So that store have a amazing selection, but the one thing I was pretty annoyed is about the installation. So they didn't put clothes like rack by rack. You can go through like the first row, then the second row, then the third. So they pretty much put it randomly. So I found myself pretty much running circles in the same floor. That's pretty annoying part, but still a pretty good store. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I will cover for vintage. So remember the name. I will probably like put the store name in the description for every store I mentioned. So alright, so the second part I'm gonna talk about is just the buy and sell stores. So there's a ton of like buy and sell stores that are pretty big, and most stores have like multiple locations around different area. I think the biggest name in the game is called Rinken. You might saw this one on Rakuten online stores or saw their Instagram. But from my experience, I feel like their price, because they have the big name, their price is pretty high, and I would not recommending buying from them. Like, just because I don't think their price is reasonable. They are more towarding hyped item, so hyped release like Supreme, like Off-White, Amiri. So all those stuff, I would say they have the more item towarding that. So my favorite buy and sell stores is called RAGTAG. So RAGTAG have like a 2 location, one in Shinjuku, another one in Shibuya. And so the reason I like RAGTAG is because they have a pretty good organization in their store. So the Shibuya store is very clean. It really didn't look like a second-hand pre-owned used store. It's more like a high-end boutique, because all the clothing is on the racks row by row, and for every item they have like a little small tag to tell you what brand it is, what season, etc. And even the second-hand shoes in the stores is pretty much all cleaned up. So really delightful, amazing shopping experience, I would say, in RAGTAG. That's why I'm recommending you guys. But my favorite overall is, I would say, Second Street. Second Street is another buy and sell store. They have like one location in Shinjuku, another location in Harajuku. Anyway, so they are more towarding a hybrid. So they have like a lot of like streetwear stuff. They also have a lot of high-end stuff. They also have like a American vintage. So they pretty much have everything. So I think I bought my most stuff from Second Street, just from the receipt I have in my wallet. So yeah, those are the 3. I would say those are the. Oh, there's another one. I almost forgot. So there's another store called Kindal, or it's called canned.co. Similar to RAGTAG, and it's pretty much well organized, really high end, and they are more towarding the designer stuff. So all the Valentino, Gucci, Prada, you name it, so you can find it there. And yeah, but I think the price seems a little bit higher among those as well. definitely if you're looking for archive stuff and just the designer shit, check out those 3 stores. Alright, lastly, I'm gonna talk about like the department stores. So I think from my experience, like there's 2 big department stores that you guys need to check it out. So the first one is Isetan Shinjuku. So a lot of people might already heard Isetan because they have a huge department mall in Shinjuku. So Isetan Shinjuku, in their top floor, which is men's area, they pretty much covered all the designer brand you can think of. No matter it's like locally, like Undercover and Hollywood, Double Taps, Wacko Maria, Human Made, or like the international one, like the brand from European, you can all find it there. So it's more like a one-stop shop that you can literally find every brand in there, which is pretty crazy. So definitely recommending you guys check it out. And also another thing is like since they opened early, because the shopping in Japan is pretty limited from the hours, because the majority of the stores open at 11 or 12, like for the smaller store. Only like big department stores open early, so you really need to like well plan your time schedule. And also most stores close at 8, so only have like 8 or 9 hours to to really do the shopping. Yeah, that's another thing, another tip. So another big department stores, let's see, the name is called, it's actually not in the Shibuya Shinjuku area, it's actually in Ginza. Oh, here, so it's called Hankyu Men's Tokyo. So this is probably the biggest menswear department stores in Tokyo, like what I think so. So because they have like a 6 or 7 floor building just dedicated to menswear. So from dress shirt, suits, all the dress shoes to streetwear to all the high fashion stuff, they have it all, and very well organized. And I think I found a pair of the new Comme des Garçons Vans from their first Comme des Garçons stores in their first floor. So great selections, definitely recommend you guys check it out. Another great things about all the big department stores is like most of them, they will do the tax refund if you're traveling. So for smaller vintage store or smaller, very small stores in Harajuku, they won't, some of them, they won't accepting tax refund. That's another advantage, save you some money. From department stores, let's jump into let's say brand stores. So what brand? Okay, first people like been asking me, okay, is there like a Izumiyaki on place pants I can proxy during my trip? That's pretty much impossible if you're not went to Japan, the first week of each month, or even like the first 1 or 2 days. Shout out to Ken and all the going around like the on place hype. So pretty much all the basic one, the JF 150 will sold out in the first week or even like the first few days among all the stores. So if you're not associated or like if you're not familiar with the salesperson to hold your pair, it's pretty much impossible to get. Okay, next. So I went to FIL Tokyo, which is visiting. They have like a pretty great installation there. And the store is actually pretty hard to find because it's underground. It's like a B1 level right under Tumi, which is the luggage company. And yeah, so the one thing exclusively to that store, to FIL Tokyo, is that you can customize a dog tag. I think it's a brass dog tag with your name and DOB on it. It probably gonna took 2 to 3 days to make, and you can pick it up after they finish it. And I think the overall price for that dog tag is around like 180 US dollars, or like 160. I can't really recall. Anyway, if you guys interested. So let's see what else. I also went to few boutique. I will just mention the name. Maybe if I can find the image or like the footage, I will put it here. So one store I went to called ELIMINATOR. So they're more like kind of like a modern techwear eccentric boutique. So they have a lot of variety of selections, everything more clothing or techwear, or at least that kind of style. So they have like a Valence, also Acronym, and also Kiko Konstantinov. They also have like things the newest. I think they also have a Fix. So and the store is pretty clean and very futuristic design. Definitely recommending check it out. Okay, now another boutique called WearMoko is in Shibuya. So they're also another I think like a stockist for Kiko, and they're also carrying a lot of like a Japanese domestic brand that I've never known of. So like honestly, there's a ton of like a local Japanese brand that is not well known. And and lastly, definitely go check out Dover Street Market Ginza. So pretty much I would say that's the best stores in Tokyo, period. Very good selection, no doubt, and great instrument as always, and also very friendly salesperson. I would say my personal interest, I would say that's better than Dover Street Market in Europe. I haven't been to the LA one yet, but I would say the Ginza store is definitely the best. So great selection, and one thing to notice is that the Dover Street Ginza building is actually connected to next door or across the road the Uniqlo Ginza. So there's actually a pathway on the first floor that you can just went straight from DSM to Uniqlo. That was pretty cool. Yeah, okay, just going through the map one last time to see what I miss. I mean, a lot of the stores just too small, or I would not really recommending it, so I just wouldn't mention it. Let's see. Yeah, I think I pretty much covered all of them. So alright, I would say that's pretty much the end of this video, and if you have any questions, etc., you can leave a comment or DM me on Instagram. And next video gonna be pretty fire, I promise. And that will be all the pickup I got from Japan. So see you guys soon. Peace out.